Every December, I like to take the time to prepare for the new year, and I thought it would be fun to share exactly how I will be preparing for 2023. That way you guys can reset for the new year with me. The first step in resetting for a new year is to declutter your space. There's no better way to prep for a new year than to literally look at your space and get rid of everything that doesn't serve you anymore and that just causes you anxiety every time you walk by it. For me, that is my closet. My closet always ends up being a hot mess by the end of the year. Currently, I'm pregnant and I'm not even wearing half of the clothes that are in my closet, and half of the clothes I know that I'm never going to wear again. So there's literally no point in bringing those pieces of clothing with me into the new year. So I like to go through all of my clothes and take out all the clothes that I'm going to sell on Poshmark and Mercari, and then make a second pile with all the clothes that I'm going to donate. Decluttering your space is also a great way to earn extra income at the end of the year. I've made a pretty good amount of money reselling my clothes, and I've also resold a lot of things around my apartment that I don't really use anymore, like iPhone cases. I think 2 years ago I even sold Christmas ornaments that I no longer use. I've sold so many different things on Poshmark and Mercari, so if you're looking to earn a little bit of extra income, either to pay for all the holiday gifts that you purchase or to treat yourself at the end of the year, definitely look into decluttering your space and selling some of the items that you no longer use. So why are you holding on to them? It's a great way to make a little bit of income. It's not going to be a lot, but you know, every dollar counts, especially in this economy, you guys. And if you don't feel the need to declutter your closet, maybe declutter a junk drawer in your kitchen, in your bedroom, declutter your dresser, whatever area in your house is causing you anxiety every time you walk past it, declutter it. And speaking of decluttering, I think it's very important to also declutter all of your tech devices. So this is your phone, your laptop, your tablet. It can also be emails. It can also be photos on your phone, apps, unfollowing people on social media that no longer serve you. This past week, I actually sat down, I put Grey's Anatomy on in the background, and I sat on my phone deleting a bunch of emails that I knew that one I was never going to open and one that I didn't really need to open. And also I took the time to just go through my photos to get rid of pictures that I didn't really need, that were just taking space up on my phone. I also like to take the time to go through the people that I follow on Instagram, and if someone is just not really serving a purpose to me, or if they're making me feel bad for whatever reason, or following them is not good for my mental health, I simply unfollow them. It's nothing personal towards them, it's just how their content makes me feel. And if someone's content doesn't fulfill you, doesn't bring you happiness, doesn't motivate you, then why in the world are you following them in the first place? It's a very tedious and boring task, which is why I recommend to just put on a TV show in the background where you can obviously pay attention to the show, but also just sit on your phone and delete everything that doesn't serve you anymore. And trust me, once you do it, you'll feel a lot better. The next step that I like to do to prepare for the new year is to deep clean my entire home. When I say deep clean, I mean literally deep clean. Like scrub all the cabinets, get into all the nooks in your home that just collects dust because you really don't think twice about it on the weekly basis. Just really deep clean your space. Honestly, going into a new year with a messy apartment or a messy house is not the vibe. The few times that I haven't cleaned up before entering a new year have made me feel so sluggish and unmotivated, and it just doesn't make me feel good. For me, a clean space means a clear mind. Deep cleaning my home before a new year just brings me so much joy and allows me to just start the new year feeling fresh and motivated to go after all my goals. Speaking of goals, you can't prepare for a new year without setting new goals. Literally every December, I sit down and think about what I want to accomplish in the new year. I actually uploaded about 2 weeks ago my 2023 goals, and I also reflected on my 2022 goals in that video, which I will have linked below if you guys want to check it out. But just taking the time to reflect on the year that you've had, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you would change, what you wouldn't change. And I don't mean setting New Year resolutions. I don't really agree with New Year resolutions because I feel like people overwhelm themselves with New Year resolutions. Like they say that they're going to hit the gym every single day starting January 1st. And for a lot of us, that's super unrealistic. So maybe just setting a goal that you are are going to work out more consistently. You're going to eat healthier in the new year. Instead of saying that you're going to be in the gym every single day, when we both know that probably won't happen. I mean, if you do end up doing that, great. But for the majority of us, setting New Year resolutions doesn't seem as important as setting New Year goals. And I also think it's very important to just not think about the goals that you want to accomplish, but to actually write them down on a piece of paper. I'm pretty old school. I like writing all of my goals in a journal, but I know that a lot of people like to write their goals on their laptop or on their phone. Write them down wherever you'll see them every single day. That way you're reminded what exactly you're working towards that specific year. I also like to set monthly goals. So these monthly goals are actually smaller versions of the overall 2023 goals that I may have. And these smaller goals are actually going to help me accomplish some of the bigger goals that I have. For example, let's say I want to reach 40,000 subscribers by December 2023. And obviously there are 12 months in a year, and I start off January at 22,000 subscribers. Then I know that I need 18,000 more subscribers to reach my 40,000 subscriber goal, which means I have to grow my YouTube channel by 1,500 subscribers each month. And that will probably be my goal every month. So I'd be able to reach my ultimate goal, which is to reach 40,000 subscribers by the end of the new year. Does that make sense? Just taking the time to break down your bigger goals into smaller goals so you're able to work towards them without feeling overwhelmed, because sometimes we look at our goals and we can feel overwhelmed and don't really know where to start in order to accomplish them. But breaking them down help us feel less overwhelmed and make us be like, okay, I got this. I can accomplish this goal this month, and next month I'll increase that goal, or whatever it is. You'll just take baby steps to accomplish some of your bigger goals. Not only is it important to set goals for the upcoming year, but it's also very important to take a hard look at your finances. So if you want to buy a house in the new year, look at your finances, look at your savings, figure out exactly how much money you need to save for a down payment for a house that you would want. Or if you want to buy a car, same thing, figure out how much money you have to save for the down payment of that car. If you want to save more money because you have no savings, figure out how much money you can take out of your paychecks every week or every 2 weeks to hit your saving goals. But it's very important to look at your finances, restructure, get rid of things that you don't really need. Like, do you really need 5 streaming services? Do you really need that Starbucks coffee every morning? Probably not. You can always make your coffee at home. Figure out what can stay, figure out what needs to go. That way you start off the new year on a good note with your finances, and you're not stressed about debt, or you're not stressed about how you're going to make ends meet, which I know can be really hard, especially in this economy. It is a lot easier said than done. I absolutely hate budgeting. I hate anything that has to do with finances, but I force myself every month to sit down with my little budget spreadsheet and figure out how much money we spend in that current month and figure out how much money we can spend the upcoming month. And it's definitely helped my finances a lot. I started budgeting on a monthly basis this year in 2022, and I definitely have cut back in a lot of my spending. I feel like in 2020 and in 2021, I spent a lot of money on useless crap. And this past year, I really decided to cut back on my spending and really think about what I wanted to spend my money on, especially now that my husband and I are expecting a baby. Like, finances are very important. We have to make sure that we have our finances in order to be able to adequately take care of our child and to not have to stress about money, because I've also been there. I've also stressed about money. I grew up poor. For the majority of my life, I literally have struggled financially. These last few years are the first couple years where I've actually been comfortable in my finances. So I never want to go back to that stress that I felt in those years where I was constantly struggling, which is why even though I don't like budgeting and I don't like talking about finances, I force myself to budget. That way I know exactly how much money is coming in and how much money is going out. Another very tedious task that I think is also very important, and I got this idea from Michelle Reed's YouTube video. She uploaded a video very similar to this one where she basically talked about how she resets for the new year. And in that video, she mentioned a life admin day, which I fell in love with the idea of a life admin day. And basically on this admin day, you do all the tasks that you have been putting off, like setting up doctor's appointments, paying end of year bills, boring but important tasks that we avoid every single day of our lives. For example, I know that I have to make a dentist appointment in the new year, so I'm definitely going to set that up in the upcoming week. My husband needs a physical, so we're definitely going to set up a physical for him in the new year. Just just things like that that we keep putting off but are important. Just take the time to do them, and I bet you'll feel a lot better and less stress once you've actually just taken the time to accomplish those tedious and boring tasks that again are quite important. The next step that I like to do to prepare for a new year is probably my favorite step in this whole like resetting for 2023 video, and it's to create a vision board. I have been creating vision boards for the past 2 years and I absolutely love it. I'm a strong believer in manifesting, and I feel like creating vision boards is a form of manifestation. I've looked at my old vision boards of previous years and I've accomplished so much of what I put down on that vision board. It's so crazy to see your dreams come true like that and to see you obtain the things that you wanted. I know that some people like to do like physical vision boards. I'm not really into that. I don't really like printing out pictures or cutting out magazines. I prefer to create a digital vision board, and I actually create a vision board every single month. But if that's too much work for you, you can definitely just create a overall 2023 vision board. You can create one on Pinterest, or what I like to do is I go on Pinterest, find photos that have to correlate with my goals for that specific year, and then I download it to my phone, and then I create a collage, and that collage I turn into a wallpaper for my laptop and for my phone. That way every time I go on my phone or on my laptop, I see my vision board front and center, and I'm reminded exactly of what I'm working towards that specific year. And honestly, I like to dream big with my vision boards. Even dreams that I may have that I think are like far-fetched or that I'm not going to be able to accomplish this year, I still put them on my vision board because you never know. And maybe me seeing that specific thing that I really want every single day is going to motivate me to work even harder to obtain that goal or to obtain that thing that I really want, and I may accomplish it sooner than I expected to. So definitely take the time to dream big with your vision boards. Create an aesthetic vision board that's going to motivate you every single day to go after your goals and to remind you of what exactly you're working towards. I think it's very easy to forget what we're working towards in everyday life. We get caught up with work, we get caught up with taking care of our family, that sometimes we forget about our goals and we forget about ourselves. So again, a vision board serves that purpose of reminding you exactly what you're working towards and reminding you of the life that you want. So I highly recommend to create a vision board, and again, dream big when you are creating your vision board. Another very important way that I like to prepare for a new year is by buying a new planner and a new journal. I am a big planner girl. I've always been, even in high school, college, like I love planners. I actually haven't bought my 2023 planner yet because I haven't been to Target, but my all-time favorite planner is the Day Designer planner. It just works perfect for my lifestyle. I love how it breaks down every month, every single day. And if you order the Day Designer planner on their website, it's actually quite expensive. I think their planners go for like $50, but I always find them at Target for 20 bucks, 25 bucks, depending if there's a sale or not. I highly recommend to invest in a planner that works best for you. Some people love going digital with their planners, which is perfectly fine. I know that some people like using Notion. I'm pretty old school. I love having a physical planner. I've tried going digital multiple times. It's never worked for me. I can never keep up with it. I just love a physical journal that I can physically write the things that I need to get done, and I can decorate it the way I want. I could use different types of pens. Honestly, just having a physical planner is such a vibe to me. So I probably won't be going digital anytime soon, but hey, if you want to go digital, whatever works best for you. And I love starting the new year with a new journal. I use this journal to write down like things I'm grateful for every morning, things that happened to me that were great that day, or things that maybe weren't that great but I still want to remember. And then at the end of the year, I can look at that journal and be like, wow, this is everything that I went through this past year, because we tend to only remember like these big huge moments, which is perfectly fine. But I find if you keep a journal, you're able to remember some of the little things that are just as equally as important as the bigger events in your life. And I've always kept a journal ever since I was younger. I actually have some of my journals that I used to keep when I was like in middle school and high school, and every now and then I like going back and reading them and just seeing how much I've grown. Definitely consider keeping a journal. You don't have to write down like your whole life story every single day, but just writing down things that happened to you that day or things that you were grateful for that day. And again, you're going to have so much fun reading that journal at the end of the year. This last step that I like to do is very personal, and not everyone may agree with it, not everyone may want to do it, but I'm a very spiritual spiritual person as well as religious. I think it's okay to be both. And I like to cleanse my space with sage at the end of the year. I actually do this every single month, multiple times in a month, to be honest. I just really love cleansing my space, getting rid of any negativity that may be hanging on to me. This is something that I do with my husband. We go around our entire apartment with sage, just cleansing our space, doing our manifestations, things that we want to accomplish. And again, this isn't for everyone. I don't want people to feel like I'm forcing my views on them. If you don't want to cleanse your space with sage, don't do it, and that's perfectly fine. But if you are spiritual and you do want to cleanse your space and just start off the new year with a clean, fresh, positive environment, definitely consider getting some sage and just cleansing your space, saying your manifestations and your intentions for the new year. And I promise it just feels so good, and I feel at peace every time I do it. So I love cleansing my spaces. I love saging. That's just me. So that's something that I also like to do to prepare for a new year. Those are all the steps that I take to prepare for a new year. I literally have done all of this except for buying a new planner to prepare for 2023. And I definitely invite you guys to try some of these things on my list. Some things may work for you, other things may not. That's perfectly fine, but as long as you're making an effort to reset for the new year, that's what counts. Do what works best for you to start off the new year on a good note, and let me know one goal you have for the new year. I would love to know. And I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I would love to have you a part of my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.